Since 2018, there have been 6 seasons by a tight end with more than 1,200 receiving yards. Travis Kelce has 4 of them. Now, Kelce was a productive tight end long before Patrick Mahomes became his quarterback, but the legendary chemistry between the two players was an immediate revelation and remains a lasting thorn in the NFL's side. Nobody can really stop it, nobody can really emulate it. But how does the connection between these two actually work? This episode of Stat Stories is presented by EA Sports Madden NFL 25. One of the most famous plays from the Mahomes-Kelce tandem came in a blowout win against the Bears last September. It's 3rd and goal. Kelce pulls the safety toward the sideline before snapping the route back to the middle of the field, and Mahomes drops a throw just over the sinking linebacker, where Kelce can still grab it and get 2 feet down. Just another easy-peasy example of Mahomes dotting Kelce for a red zone score. Only this was not the route that Kelce was supposed to run, at all. As Mahomes would explain both in the post-game interview and in mic'd-up clips, Kelce decided to improvise and make up his own route. Apparently, he just does that sometimes. This route was supposed to go to the corner, but the safety sitting over the top is playing so aggressively into the corner that Kelce knows it would be a contested throw and catch. So he breaks back to the middle of the field where he knows there's space. That's where the safety just came from. Mahomes sees him do it and has no issue throwing him open. That's 6. Now, this is a drastic example of how Mahomes and Kelce have such unique chemistry. You can't go changing routes on every single play, nor do Kelce and Mahomes do that. But they've been playing together for so long, they do adjust and finick and finagle with routes in unspoken, unspectacular ways. Here's a good example. One of the Chiefs' favorite routes to throw to Kelce is this route that looks like a corner stop. Now, on a corner route, we would expect the receiver to drive hard upfield, then cut hard to the outside, moving with speed to run away from man coverage and get under a ball thrown to the sideline. On a corner stop route, we would expect the receiver to look like they're doing that, running that tried and true corner route before suddenly stopping and turning back to the quarterback. This route doesn't get all the way to the sideline, but hangs out in a void between zone defenders. When Kelce and Mahomes run the route, Kelce doesn't even try to threaten running hard and fast into the sideline. Maybe he did in his youth, but he's an older man now, and he and Mahomes have such a harmonious understanding of space and timing that he just doesn't need to. Watch how Kelce bends the stem of his route to the inside, creating just enough room to the outside so that Mahomes can throw the ball to a general area where there are no defenders. Kelce will just drift to that void and catch the ball with no bodies around. There's no victory of masterful route running here, no elite scheming by Andy Reid. There's just some air in the Buccaneers' zone defense and 2 guys who have no trouble finding it. Here's the same exact idea from last year's conference championship game against the Ravens. Watch how Kelce pushes his stem inside, then turns and settles into space, just waiting for Mahomes to make him right. This sort of chemistry best expresses itself against zone coverage, as it's harder to just find space when there's a man following you wherever you go. In almost every season that Mahomes and Kelce have played together, Kelce has averaged more yards per route run against zone coverage than against man coverage, despite the fact that he actually tended to get targeted more often against man coverage than he did against zone coverage. That was back in the earlier days when he ran a little better. It is true that the 35-year-old tight end is slowing down a little bit. He's averaging under 2 yards per route run for the first time since Mahomes became his starting quarterback. He's under 5 yards after the catch per reception for the first time since 2019. Only 10.7% of his catches have gone for more than 20 yards this season, down from 12.9% last season, which was already the lowest single-season number from his time with Mahomes. But it's also true that Kelce is doing things no other 35-year-old tight end has ever done. When Kelce snagged 14 passes against the Buccaneers in Week 9, he became the first tight end 35 or older to have 14 receptions in a game. Only 4 tight ends have ever caught 10-plus passes in a game 35 or older, and Kelce and Tony Gonzalez are the only 2 tight ends in NFL history to have multiple such games. The most receiving yards in a season by a 35-plus tight end are Gonzalez's 930 in 2012. Kelce is currently on pace for 861, which would be good for 3rd on that list. It takes a lot for a player to be this productive for this long. It takes elite athleticism from the jump, something Kelce's always had, and a commitment to maintaining your body over a decade's worth of NFL punishment, something made even harder by the fact that the Chiefs asked Kelce to play a few bonus games every January too. But it also takes a unique connection with a quarterback that allows Kelce to remain not just productive, but often dominant in his role as more than just a tight end, more than just a quarterback-friendly pass catcher, but a true quarterback on the field with Patrick Mahomes. This episode of Stat Stories is presented by EA Sports Madden NFL 25. Nothing hits like Madden NFL 25. Play now.